Hey guys, we're jumping in here just to talk about a quick pivot that we're doing here with this. The main thing is we started out with a draft, then Madden, a couple of days later, once we've already started producing content, came up with an update, broke all the mods. Well, slowly as the mods have repaired themselves and got us back to where we can to go ahead and do it, another mod came out that I had been waiting on and just gave up hope that it was going to come out in time for me to really get started on this. That is Centros's um, Start Today mod. So once that came out and everything else had to be repaired, I decided, well, hey, why don't I just go ahead? We're going to go with that. We're going to stick to that. And what I am also going to do is probably set Madden not to update any longer and just stick with the file that we have. But what that is going to do is we had to go ahead, redo the draft, and that's what you're going to see here in this upcoming video. You're going to see the draft, you're going to see the selections we made. Obviously, they're going to be different. Things didn't fall or won't fall quite the same for us. One of the other things, too, is other franchise free agency moves happened in the time. So, certain teams like the Giants, who picked up Russell Wilson, and the Jets, who got Fields, and certain moves like that have changed what the teams are needing to draft, what their priorities in the draft is. The Giants, obviously, in the mod and in Madden, feel they have themselves their quarterback. So it looks, and for all intents and purposes, it looks like they are pivoting away from any other player than best available player, right? And um, sadly, that is going to impact the draft, specifically for the Cowboys, and it's also going to impact the draft as to how things fall. And so we'll see a much different team than what we um, had started with. And so this is going to be very interesting. So just stay tuned. We're jumping right into the draft, and you should be able to see that now. Hey guys, we're jumping in. We're right here in the middle of the draft. Not even the middle, but in the middle of the first round, mostly towards the end. We're doing something completely different. um, Madden updated yesterday, and it just broke all the mods that I had going. And then so the playthrough, this is basically a reboot of the playthrough. This is kind of, hey, I'm gonna fix the Cowboys, even if the Cowboys don't want to fix themselves. That's what I'm gonna call this series. And it's right now. We just went through free agency. Uh, Everybody at this point kind of knows what happened in free agency, kind of knows where the Cowboys are sitting. Ashton Genty is the one guy that everybody wants to point to and say, hey, at 12, that's what you need to get. Well, the Giants in free agency decided they wanted to pick up a couple of quarterbacks and then push the need for quarterback, I guess. And they went with best player available, Ashton Genty at 3, right? That pushed Shedeur Sanders down the line to 5. I'm not really in agreement with the pick there. And reason being is because I don't know that everybody's out on Trevor Lawrence yet. And if so, okay. But I don't know that that was the best pick for them. James Pierce just seems like a very risky pick. in the first round period. And then, but this is Madden, so all the off field, all the head stuff that these players go through does not factor in. So, in truth, it's not so risky here in Madden. Real life, yeah. Amarand Bimbu, not the best tackle on the board ratings wise. So the fact that the Jets fell in love with him either means that's just because of the ranking in the file itself and not because he was the best player available, or maybe it's built in that the Jets just don't pick the best lineman available. He's good, he's just not the best one. And then Travis Hunter falls all the way to 8th. Come on now, right? If anything, that should have been either the Jags or that. Actually, he should have come off the board at 4, right? Pair him up with Gonzalez on the other side. At least you just secured. But then again, I mean, maybe your guys down in the trenches aren't working out for you. I can't argue too much about Mason Graham since he's the best defensive tackle on the board, but I can see where Travis Hunter would have been a better pick than Shador Sanders and James Pierce. But James Pierce is one of the best edges after Carter. Just like I said, IRL, he's got a lot of baggage and teams are probably going to stay away from him. So Hunter basically falls to 8. So when we get around to 12, we see that everybody that we want is in front of us. And we weren't completely sold on any of them at 12, right? And then we say, well, we'll go ahead and back out. So Chargers come up, offers us their second round pick to move up to 12, right? So they're first and second. So we jump down to 22. And the players that we were looking at that hurt a little bit is Kenneth Grant, Ted McMillan, Josh Simmons, Jade Barron, and a tiny bit Alfred Collins. Me personally, I think that's a reach at 21. We would not have picked him in the first round. So at 22, he was not on the board for us, but the other guys would have been. And I think it would have been an easy pick if Ted McMillan had fell down. Straight away easy. No questions asked. But that's IRL on based on Madden and how Madden performs. Yeah, it would have been nice to see Ted McMillan fall down to us. But now we have our pick. We are not trading back, even though we could, but here's our dilemma. And then now the 3 players that we are most interested in, right? And then what I do is I go to my favorites, and unfortunately, the way Madden is set up, you can't rearrange your board, right? You have to actually select the players specifically. So you need to know which players at which point you want at that ranking. You can't move them up and down. I mean, easiest way to do it is just to add the functionality to the right stick, right? Click the right stick and push it up and then you can move your player up and down. So that'll select the player and allow you to move them up and down the board. Maybe they'll figure that out for the next iteration of Madden. Unfortunately, they weren't able to figure it out to put it in this one. But looking at my players, and then what I like to do is say, please sort them by projection, not by talent, by projection, right? The ones that you can see the talent for are the ones that I picked to as my focus players, and also there's and my there would you can pick twice, right? So you can pick 6 players. So these are 2 of the 6 players I picked. So my ones that I'm focused on is Ibuka and Golden, right? We need a number 2 wide receiver. That is for sure. Ravel would be a nice add, right? Main reason for me it'd be a nice add is because I'm just not sure what I want to do with Bland. I don't know that I want to re-sign him. And for me, I'd rather trade him away and get a first round back. That's how good he's become. And then I just don't think Madden treats him like he would be like in IRL. My opinion of Bland is boom or bust. I don't see him as a lockdown defender like you see other places, right? I don't, or as when you think of lockdown defender, I don't see him as a lockdown defender, right? I see him as a boom or bust type player. I see, him making huge plays defensively, which are game changing plays. But if he's not making a big play, I don't really see him locking anybody down and making, those defensive stops that are necessary. But then he's been injured last season. So is he back? How long is it going to take him to get back to that form? I don't know. And then Madden has never really been kind to him anyway, as far as making those big plays, especially since he's not an X Factor or superstar player in Madden. So that is something. And then the other thing is Omarion Hampton is right there for the taking. And part of me is like, well, he's right there. But guess what? Trevion Henderson and Caleb Johnson are both right there. I feel like both will be available at 44 of these two. I don't think Hampton makes it to 44. So then the question becomes, do I really want to go Hampton right here? Or do I want to get my number two? Because neither one of these are going to make it to 44 either. Right? And I think Hairston, I don't know. And that's the thing. If I can't get Hairston, if Hairston doesn't drop to us, I would have to pick him up in the second round, and then I would have to hope that he gets to us at 54. And I don't know that he will. And then after Hairston, maybe Thomas at 54. I don't know. Right? Or do I take the chance and I say, okay, what about Morrison at 54? Will he make it to 54? I think my mind is made up that we need to go receiver, running back, corner, and then hope a decent defensive lineman. Talik Williams, Deion Walker, because remember, Deion Walker's IRL problems are loafing, not taking plays off. That's not a thing in Madden. So sheer physical size, strength, and things like that is what we're going to have in Madden. And that's going to actually make a huge difference and negate the IRL stuff that would be a concern. So I'm like, okay. And then if I'm not, and then just for transparency's sake, we have 2 seconds and 2/3. I think Pierce would be a third round choice for us at right tackle. Him or not Cameron Williams, but Ursery comes into play. Tyler Booker that comes into play. If they're still around in the third, here's Deion Walker, right? And it says he's even a third, fourth round pick. And then one of the things there's also Norman Lott, but we have 2, 3 techs already. And then there's Marcus Bowe. If he's still there, that's a possibility as well, right? Okay, so let's get back up here. I think what I'm leaning towards, and listen to the reasoning. I think I'm leaning. I think I'm leaning Egbuku. Reason being, he's a bigger receiver, right? We know he's the first, or he's borderline first, second round talent. Let's just click on him. So he's got exceptional body control on sidelines, fight for every inch, no issue climbing the ladder, excels at creating yards after the catch. The type of player that Egbuku is, right? And then these numbers, you take them with a grain of salt, right? But this is what I'm looking at. So A is telling me he is one of the better players in the draft, carrying the ball, catching the ball, spectacular catch, and then B across the board and everything else, really, right? Except spin move. Seriously. Now, when we go back and we look at Golden, his numbers are way better, right? But we still don't know, right? And that's because I didn't scout him. I could have scouted him, and then we would have seen. But I just get the feeling that some of those numbers, the possibility there, release could be a C, medium route could be a C, right? Juke move is going to be at best a C, right? Injury could be a C. Run block could be at best a C, right? And then you got catching traffic and catching. We don't know. It could be C. And I'm just feeling, my opinion is Egbuku would be the better choice here. And again, I could be completely wrong, but we dropped down. We decided to go here. I'm not sold on Amarian Hampton at this pick, and it's a gamble. The other opportunity here is Jihad Campbell, right? He's got serious speed, right? And he's got possibly good skills. We definitely could use a linebacker to shore everything up in there, right? Especially a linebacker of the future. But I think our focus needs to be on the number two receiver. And I just feel like this guy's going to be the steady number two, like he's been his entire college career. And again, that's real world stuff. This is Madden. Will it translate? And what I'm doing is I'm gambling on the size and speed and everything factoring all together. So let's go here. And boom. There we go. Well, I picked him right where we're supposed to be picking him. Kind of. I think this is the number 22 pick. He's the number 23 ranked player. He's an A plus NFL pass ready catcher, unbothered by defenders when catching passes. That means he has a very high catch and traffic rate. And then highlight reel catches are the norm. So he's got a good spec catch too. Hidden depth. Speed 90, not great, but the acceleration and agility make up for it, change of direction, right? He's got good strength for a wide receiver. And look at the skills. Just we knew. They're golden all across the board. No pun intended. All right. So who did we miss on? God dang it. Wrong button. All right, here we go. So skip ahead. Will Campbell went next. Walter Nolan. Gray Zabel. Okay. To the Texans. Mark that one kind of hurts. Hairston going to now other times that I've gone through this, right? And other ones, it was always Jade Barron falling to the Rams, right? All right, here we go. Ravens select Darius Alexander, defensive tackle. Lions select, there we go, Ursary, left tackle. Jalon Walker, linebacker, to the Commanders. Malachi Starks, free safety to the Bills. All right, the Chiefs select Imawari, Imawari to the Chiefs at 31. Surprising because Golden hasn't gone yet to any of them. Watch what the Eagles do here. Eagle selection. Landon Jackson, right end out of Arkansas. Wow. All right, so you can see in the second round, we've got 2 picks. We're going to go ahead and skip ahead to our pick in the second round. You see Luther Burden off the board, Jared Ivey to the Giants, Matthew Golden finally goes at 35 to Tennessee, Prince Uman Malin uh, goes to Jacksonville at 36. Josiah Stewart, right outside linebacker, rush edge, goes to the Raiders. Tyler Booker off the board to the Patriots. And Jihad Campbell hangs in there until pick 39, going to the Bears. Travian Henderson goes to the Saints. That hurts. That hurts more than any of the other picks right there because I severely was hoping. And it hurts more because look at what Omarion Hampton did. He lasted until the Bears had their second pick at, in this round at 41, and they took Omarion Hampton. Colston Loveland to the Jets, tight end. Talik Williams to San Francisco at 43, defensive tackle. We will make our pick. That really hurts. That hurts. And here's the thing, right? Sometimes you can say, okay, we got 2 picks. When we come back around at 54, we have to hope our guy is there. You can't take that chance. I honestly have to say you cannot take that chance, right? I got every single person right here in the top of my list. Ravel, Harmon, Tuamalu, Pierce, Harlan Pierce, right? Higgins, Royals, Thomas, Watts, even Savaiane, right? And then, look, I don't know why Caleb Johnson is so far down in the list. And then, oh, okay, well, we gotta rank it this way, and then you can see he's even further down in the list. To be honest with you, Darian Sampson is up higher than Caleb Johnson. So the question becomes, what are we gonna do? Because now I say Caleb Johnson has to be the one that we go with, right? Even though you look here, what are the chances he goes in the next 11 picks, right? There are a lot of picks here between him. There's a lot of folks here, right? And so, question is, if I were to rank them, Ravel, not 100% on Harmon, but Ravel, Tuimolo, Thomas, Morrison, Johnson. That's how I would be looking at it, right? And if that's the case, we got to do it. Caleb Johnson. Now, I will be looking at blue later, possibly 4th round. We do have a 4th round again. I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that one bit. Do you see that? You guys see that, right? A plus. Caleb Johnson was ranked 19th in true value, and we drafted him at 44. Soft, reliable hands, consistently breaks tackles, carries high and tight, limiting fumbles. Oh my goodness! All right, so 89 speed. That's not bad for a running back. You know, it's not breakaway. Strength 80. Change of direction is only 82, but we can live with that. Acceleration. That's, he can get up and get through the hole. Now, we don't get like a clear shot as to where all these things are going to fall, but I'm stoked with that. And if I'm not mistaken, he was hidden dev. All right. So now we're going to skip to 55. My bad. 55. I was saying 54. We're going to see who's left. All right, here we go. So Rebel goes off. Connerly goes off. Harmon, Elijah Roberts, Tuimolo, Quinshawn Judkins goes off. Xavier Watkins, TJ Sanders. All right. Jackson Dart goes at 54 to the Green Bay Packers. I don't know. I don't know if I agree with that one. I don't know. So that says Thomas is still on the board for us. All right, so gotta rank them. Gotta go to mine. And in truth, I want to see who I don't want. Get a look. All right, so the best corner still left on the board is Azariah Thomas. I'm not 100% sold on him, but I don't know that we would see. Oh, oh yeah, Benjamin Morrison is still there too. I honestly am higher on Morrison than I am at Thomas. Let's see if there's someone that I'm not feeling anybody else. Let's go to just our favorites. Let's eliminate some of the noise. Okay, Harlan Pierce, I'm not ready for him yet. Second round is just too pricey for him. We got Ibuka, so these two not ready for you yet. We just got Caleb Johnson, so Samson can sit. Milam, I'm not a huge fan, but Donovan Jackson is interesting. I just don't know that I'm ready for him yet. All right, so really, I mean, looking at what's left, mm, part of me wants to grab Milrow if he's still there next round. There we go. I'm not ready to reach for Deion Walker or Bo. Yeah, yeah. All right, so we'll come back up here. It's really between Thomas and Thomas is 6'2". Let's just look at him real quick here. Savvy defender with the ball in the air. I like that. Has motor that runs through the whistle. Often looks to rip, so he does strip the ball. Shows good discipline and won't get flagged much. Okay. Four. They got him as a 4-5 guy. In Madden, that kind of hurts. I'm not saying that being a speedster is going to help you much. What you see is kind of a glitch there, but it's fine. Let's sort. We got to sort again. Let's look at Morrison, and then we can make our pick. Aggressive ball hawk. I even like that better. Physicals. Oh, so look at the strength on this guy, right? I think I'm sold. They didn't have to do much. All right, so it's B. It's ranked 32. Nice. So basically, he's still a late first round talent, right? Drafted him 55, able to quickly diagnose plays, understands and execute in zone assignments. Physical press gives receiver fit. 92 speed, 93 acceleration. Nice strength for a defensive back. All right, change of direction, 87. I'd like to see that higher. Just he won't be in the slot. All right, well maybe he's 6 foot 190. We might have to start him out in the slot. He's got great catching skills. All right. So there we are. And then only way we can see everybody in the right next, Bills take Ezra Thomas. Kevin Winston from Penn State goes to Carolina. At pick 58, the Texans select Tate Ratledge, guard. The Ravens select Donovan Jackson, guard. The Lions at pick 60 take Holland Pierce, right tackle. That was our guy. The Commanders take Jaden Higgins, another guy that we were interested in at wide receiver, and he's going to give us fits. The Bills at 62 take left tackle Wyatt Miller. I would have if I had taken him, I would have moved him into guard. This one hurts. Kansas City takes defensive tackle Deone Walker at 63. And the Eagles take Jack Besh, wide receiver, out of TCU. All right, Scatterboo's off the board at 68 to the Raiders. Bo goes at 69 to the Patriots. Jared Wilson, 70 to the Jags. Jalen Milroe goes at 71 to the Saints. That hurts. Jack Dak needs a backup. Okay, he needs a backup. All right, so Cameron Williams is still out there at right tackle. Not overly impressed by him. Savion Williams is still out there. Mason Taylor. Fadil Diggs. Right? There's Kyle McCord out there at quarterback. I'm more interested if I do decide to go on somebody. It's either him or Will Howard, tell you the truth. Leonard or Will Howard. Right? I have a second, third round pick. So if Will Howard is still out there, I might just go ahead and pull the trigger there. Right? Now, in the meantime, though, based on who's left, I'm not seeing a whole lot of anything that's really making me want to pull any kind of triggers, right? Oh, Makuba and Bowman are still out there. And they're way down the board, so that is something to keep in mind. Something to keep in mind. Especially if one of them are there when we pick in the 4. Unless we decide to pull the trigger on blue. Stackhouse is way down. Cam Jackson, that size, I am definitely interested in him. You see, they're projected at undrafted, so I'm not worried about them yet. Stutzman, he's third, fourth round. I think I'd pull the trigger on him in the 4, right? Yeah, I think he was actually one of our ones that we scouted. So I'm still looking at Travis, Emory Jones, Frazier and Hinton still are interesting ones for me. Same with Sanders, right? But Blue, we know, is super fast. So right there, and look at that. I did scout him, and he's round 1 too. Okay, all right. And then this is a day 3. We are still in round 3, so let's go ahead and try to figure out who we want to bring on board. Um, don't know why this guy is sticking out to me right now. I don't want to. Do I want to double down on linebackers? He's day 3. Get out of day 3. Who's in day 2? Ooh, Ransom. Uh, Savion Williams. Do I want to double down on a second wide receiver? If I do, why not wait for Lambert Smith instead of Savion Williams? Lambert Smith has got the speed. We already got the possession receiver. I don't know what Cameron Williams has to offer to us, and I don't know that I want to spend a third round, especially the number 12 pick in the third round, to grab him. So I'm just wondering, do I want to? I don't want to bail, and reason I don't want to bail is because I feel like we got to pick somebody. We should pick somebody, and we should pick someone good. And I'm really thinking, you see, I know these guys are good based on what we scout, how we scouted them. Do I want to pull the trigger on Howard? Strong arm, A awareness. Do I want to wait? Seriously, I am kind of sold on Howard. I think he's probably going to only be like a 69 overall or whatever, but that'll be better than what we have as a backup. This one's rough because this is a hard pick because you don't want to screw it up. Who's all available? Shamar Turner, not sold on him. I don't even know anything about Braden Swinson, Madden, or anything, or real life. Restrepo, didn't he run a 4.83? Even though that wouldn't have been captured here, but ooh, Anthony Belton. No, I would slide him. I would probably slide him inside. Charles Grant is another possibility there. What does Anthony Belton look like? Has a good motor. He's okay, but he's not fleet of foot. He would need to slide inside. He's a better pass blocker than run blocker, it looks like. Okay. And where's my other guy? Where's my other guy? Oh, Belton's already, and then Grant. What's Grant looking like? Better feet. He's going to be on the right side. He could be somebody that challenges my guy out there. He could be my poor man's Bo. Trigger pulled, trigger pulled, and we busted. Mental lapses are too frequent. Good power in run game, shows good technique and IQ in the run game. So basically, we got the same player as we already had at right tackle. I can't even remember his name. That's how good of a player he is, right? So let's skip ahead to our pick, and there goes Makuba. We should have just went with Makuba. Makuba went off the board. Okay, DJ Gideon's went off at 88. Mason Taylor went off at 92. Makuba went off at 91. Those are the ones. Anthony Belton went off at 81, and that's the probably the one we should have went with. Devin Neal, another running back, went off at 77 right after our pick. So who's left. And let's not FAFO this, right? Let's go to our board. Let's sort these guys. Top guy on our board is still Cameron Williams, who we probably should have just went with in the first place. I'm not ready to pull the trigger on him anyway, though. So, who's left? Dylan Gabriel and Will Howard are still there. And so is Jadon Blue, right? So, this is how we're going to play it. Billy Bowman is there, but I'm just not, how do you say, interested? We're doubling down, and we're just going to go safe bet. We know Jaden Blue is a safe bet. He's 28th, ranked 28th overall. True value, we drafted him at 95. He's a speed burner. We knew this, right? His player profile shows that he's normal dev trait, but 96 speed, 94 acceleration, 78 strength. And, well, we kind of knew most of all this because we scouted him. So, next pick, Eagles select Shamar Turner, defensive tackle of Texas A&M. So we have an early pick in the fourth, and Cal Kennard went off. Trey Amos, Jalen Noel, Cameron Williams, right there, top of our board, just went off. All right, so we're gonna make our selection. This is strictly fourth round pick. I am gambling here based on. So top of our board is Savion Williams. Dylan Gabriel's still there. Will Howard is still there, right? Riley Leonard is still available, right? We are more sold on Will Howard than anything. We just have to see if the rest of these guys that we're really looking at will last until the fifth. But for now, the next person on our board, and you know what? This is what we're going to call this the DAC pick, right? Will Howard, fourth round, pick 6, out of Ohio State. Strong arm. 1/16th in true value, we got him at 102. Excels at throwing downfield, stays calm when throwing under pressure, excels when throwing on the move. Can anybody say Dak? All right, so we're just going to advance to our next pick. And oh, we got an early pick in the fifth. All right, so we got 2 picks in the fifth. We're going to make our selections. And first thing, we got to see who's still available for us. We already kind of know who we want. Lambert Smith is still there. Stutzman is still there. Well, we know Stutzman is better just based on. So we will go Danny Stutzman, middle linebacker. Ranked 82 in true value. We drafted him at 132. Possesses good speed for a linebacker. He's a big hitter and above average coverage skills as a zone defender. I'm not mad at that. Look at 86 speed, 78 strength. Change of direction, 79. That's not bad that's really good for a linebacker. All right. Now, here's the thing. You guys already know I've drafted him previously, and since we're redoing, he was definitely going to be on my board because I wanted him back because I was impressed with how he was playing. You can't be certain that it's going to be the same way. You never know, but he played really well for me. So I'm like, yeah, if I got another chance to draft him, I will. So of course I scouted him, and there was no way we're passing up on him. All right, so we're going to skip ahead. Next pick, Joshua Farmer. Skip ahead to next user pick. So anybody come off the board for us? All right, 2 defensive tackles come off. No one we're really high on. So we're going to make our selection. This is where we're going to say, okay. And we're not. I'm not gonna say we're gonna start trusting our board more, but this is when it starts to actually start to play a little bit. So I can give you a heads up. We got Hinton, Frazier, Coleman, Jones, and Travis and Taylor for offensive line. We got Biggers, we got Zeke, we got Stackhouse, and Cam Jackson. We definitely probably will go Cam Jackson just because of his size. We got Shiloh sitting down there. Za Frazier might be somebody we pick up later, right? We don't have a whole lot of picks left, but I think we have like four or five picks, maybe four, right? I think we have three in the seventh and two in the sixth. So after this pick, we have five more picks. I think this pick is going to be our burner. He's not a burner, but he's got some speed to him, right? Out of Auburn, Lambert Smith, Keandre Lambert Smith, right? Draft 101 in true value. We got him at 140. He, as I said right there, speed burner, soft hands, make 50-50 balls look like 80-20. That's all I need. And there's that speed, 95. Now, you're going to say, well, his combine only was a 4.4 something. Well, he had to be fixed because he ran a 4.2 or 4.3 something at his pro day. So the I went in and I knew he was a burner. I didn't pay attention to like everything he did, but I went in and fixed the speed for Blue, for him, for a lot of folks that either ran faster than what was in the file or ran slower. So I slowed some people down, I sped some people up, right? Hairston sped him up a little bit, slowed down Igbuka, sped up a couple other people. So yes, you have to go into the file and alter certain people because the file isn't 100%. I know what some people done in their pro day and at the combine, and it's like it. I want it to match. So this is one guy. So if he was going to sit there until the fifth round, I'm not going to just not take him because I know he's fast. I don't know if he's going to be good, but he's going to be fast at least. All right, next pick. All right, let's see. Just looking to see who's off the board. Kyle Williams is off the board. If Fidel Diggs was still there, I would have taken him, right? But he's gone. So we got to see who is left for us. This might be where we start looking at the offensive lineman and saying, okay, it's time to get you off the board. Only other player that's really trumping that right now, Ja'Cory Brooks, no. Taj Brooks, I already selected two running backs. But you know the running back class is good. Rondé Gadsden is very tempting. So here we got it. We got our lineman, and then we got our defensive lineman. So basically, that's kind of how it's going to go for the next four picks or so. 6'7", 326, 6'6", 318. I like the size. Emory Jones sticks out to me. Jalen Travis will be selected by us if he's still on the board when we Elijah Badger. That's one that actually sticks out to me a little bit, but we can't pull the trigger. All right, so Miles Hinton is a definite go. Oh, 100 true value. We got him at 172. Excellent run blocker. All right. Played basketball for 2 years. Smart run blocker will best fit a zone run scheme. 90 strength, good. 60 speed, not bad. Acceleration, change direction. I'm gonna say this on the side of is good. It's above average, I think. And then okay, I ain't mad at it. I ain't mad at it. Okay, our next pick is at 188. skip ahead to our next pick, see who jumps off the board before then. Emory Jones is gone. All right. Um, and I'm really looking for people that Miles Frazier is gone. Malachi Moore is interesting, but not a big deal. Yeah, those are the two big ones. Emory Jones and Miles Frazier are now off the board. I might need to turn our attention to a defensive tackle. And the question is picking the right one. We let things slide for a while there, and I don't because we didn't pick a defensive tackle yet. So we got Zeke. I like Zeke's size. Stackhouse and Cam Jackson. The thing I like the most about Cam Jackson is his size. I don't know that he's going to be able to win a starting position, but you like to see if he can come in and compete at least, and maybe over time. So we're going to do this. It's going to be Cam Jackson and then Jalen Travis if he's still there when we pick him at 7. That's how we're going to do it. All right. And he wins out because of his size. Okay. Okay. Not mad at that at all, right? Uh 110 out of in true value, we got him at 188. That ain't bad. Good strength to avoid being pushed around. Played college basketball. That means he's got some agility, right? Sheds blocks with ease. Okay, he's not very fast, but we don't need him to be fast. We need him to take up space. 91 strength, that's going to do that. Lateral movement, 57 change of direction is not bad for someone his size, right? It's above average for an offensive lineman. Pretty good for one technique. All right. Looks like he's going to have some stuff. All right. Yeah, not mad at it. All right, let's skip ahead to my next pick. All right. What round is it? 7? Oh, I only have 2 picks in this round. I thought I had 3. Maybe I traded one away. And it's possible that I traded one away to move up. As a matter of fact, yes, I did. I offered my 6 and I offered I had 3 sixes, 3 sevens. I offered the 6 and the 7th. I offered it up, and in a trade, I got a 4. Can you believe it? And I said, would it be fair to take it? And I was like, screw it, I'll take it. I was actually contemplating switching it to a 5th to make sure I had 3 fifth-round picks, like the Cowboys have compensatory picks. But I was like, yeah, no, let's not. And I need to make my selection. So we're only got 2 players to pick here. I think all my players that I want are still available to me. So Travis is right there. We said we were going to go with Travis. Biggers and Stackhouse are still there. Frazier, Sanders, I mean, I could pick any one of these. And if they're still there in free agency, we can pull them onto the team. But we don't know if the file's going to pull everybody through for free agency. But first things first, Mr. Travis, I need somebody to come over. 72. That is, and look, another high school power forward. I think that gets put on them depending on based on their agility and height, right? That's kind of what I think. Or it could just be height, but I think it gets pulled on there because of that. So let's see. Former high school power forward, maintains balance and hold on. My wife is texting me about dinner. I am cooking a pot roast, and I texted her a picture of it in the pot in the crock pot, and I think she's mad because it made her hungry. All right, 90 strength, 63 speed overall. That's a big man running fast. Well, fast for a big man. Change of direction, 59. That's up there. Acceleration, agility, 66. So agile, big man with some strength to him. Not overpowering strength, but some good strength. I'll take that. And then we have the next to last pick in the draft. Okay, who just went off the board? Okay, Ja'Cory Brooks, Mello Dotson. Taj Brooks finally went off the board. Corey Kiner. All right, so basically everybody that we still are interested in is still on the board. And there's only one pick, so we know the potential for these guys to be available in free agency is still there. See, like Badger, Coleman, Taylor, Biggers, Stackhouse, Mondon, Frazier, and Sanders. So the question is, and usually when I go to free agency and grab a rookie, I sign him for 3 years. Just a standard 3-year contract, usually about 225 salary with a 300,000 signing bonus. That is actually a little high for a rookie in some cases, especially undrafted. And sometimes, only 180 or not 180, but 1.8 over 3 years with anywhere from 150 to $300,000 signing bonus. It depends. And because then you can actually look at their overall and see how good they are, and then that kind of dictates to me what it should be, what's fair over 3 years. Okay, uh, I hadn't mentioned him before, but I'm kind of leaning to him or James or even Black. But I think I'm gonna wait and see what they look like. We picked up two receivers already, right? Maybe I should. All right, so we're gonna pull the trigger. Oh, James is intriguing. So is Frazier. Look at that length. It would just be ironical to bring Sanders on board, right? We're gonna do it. Can be trusted with a variety of zone coverage concepts. Willing, dependable tackler. Concerns about his speed. Okay. Well, he's definitely doesn't have his father's speed. He's ranked 89 in true value. We drafted him at 223. 88 speed. For a safety, that's not bad. Pretty strong for a safety at 76 strength there. And yeah, all right. And there we have it. So let's go to recap real quick. And we'll call this one, uh, call it a day. Maybe. So we look at our, oh, shoot. All right. Charles Grant, not so much. We reached and we paid for it, but look at that, Jadon Blue. All right, Caleb Johnson, 77 overall, not bad. Benjamin Morrison, 76 overall. Okay. Egbuka, 77 overall. Will Howard, 71 overall is just fine for me. Stutzman, he's not going to start, but he's gonna give them a run for his money. Lambert might just make the team there. Hinton, that's good. That's good. That's going to be decent backup, right? Jackson, here we go. Here we go. Because right now that puts him right on par with Steele, with Terrence. So um, we have it. We now have a battle for our right tackle spot. Shiloh Sanders, we can't see him because Madden didn't size this window properly. And so the very last player in a lot of screens, you see they are there, but you can't see them. And that's because the window size isn't big enough to hold the entire list. So, and obviously the window size is locked in and it won't grow. So it's not, you know, it doesn't resize based on the amount of the list. But someone should have QA'd it and looked at it and said, "Oh, we need to drag that window a little bit longer and make it deeper, just a little bit, not even a whole lot, right? You can see it only need to be maybe like 5 to 10 pixels longer, bigger, and then you wouldn't have this problem. You wouldn't be dropping that last one, right? Or if you're QAing it properly, you write this part up and you have somebody go look at it, investigate. Well, why is the last player dropping, right? Is it the window size, right? And what I mean by the window size is this whole thing, this list is inside of a table or window, right? That asset is put on the screen and it is a fixed size. So if you only have 5 people in the list, then it will only show 5, but the size of this window will still be the same, and you just won't have the scroll bar on the side there. But what they've done is someone, when they created this, either thought it was just acceptable that you can't see it, or they just didn't pay attention, right? Basically, never scrolled all the way down to the bottom just to make sure they could see all the players that were listed in the window. So that's either poor QAing or basically someone decided it's not that big of a deal. We're not going to worry about it. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the NFL. We're going to go first round and just really look. All right. So first overall pick, Abdul Carter, raised, and excuse my pronunciation. Sometimes the mouth just doesn't want to work completely. So we can see Carter was 82, Ward was a 78 overall, and with the quarterbacks, yes, I did readjust them, most of them, right? And the reason being is because if I didn't, they wouldn't have realistically went in the draft where they did. And to me, that is a flaw, and it's a consistent flaw on Madden's part, right? Because they have not figured out how to fix the logic. And even in a lot of the mods that we're seeing, and this is modded, you still can't fix the logic 100% to make it so that the if you're really looking at the logic is going to be, do we need a quarterback? Or it should be really, do we have a valid quarterback, franchise quarterback? If no, quarterback should trump all other positions in the draft at these positions, especially if there's one available. And the logic should be that way so that it forces a team to reach on a quarterback. And then if you want to limit that, then you can say only if quarterback is either based on the ranking in the top 50 ranking. If quarterback is in top 50 ranking, do we have a franchise quarterback? Yes. Then don't select one. No. Select one over all other picks, all other choices. Period. If you don't have a quarterback that's ranked in the top 50 to select from, then you're not going to reach all the way down to a 100th ranked quarterback. And you can see, so now all of a sudden you can say, well, how far are we willing to go down and reach for a quarterback? You see what I'm saying? So Jackson Dart, case in point, in round one, only did we only get two quarterbacks? I think we only had two quarterbacks in round one. Yep. Jackson Dart is a serious consideration for quarterback in round one, not because he's a top 32 player, but because teams are desperate and they need a quarterback. And then all of a sudden it's like, well, can we go BPA here if we really need a quarterback that badly? Now, in free agency, they try to cover their butt and pick up a receipt, quarterbacks. Like if I'm not mistaken, didn't the Giants just sign Russell Wilson or traded for Russell Wilson or however I think they signed Russell Wilson. To so they just signed Russell Wilson, and that way Madden read it as let's go ahead and take Genty. Question is Russell Wilson really your franchise quarterback? The answer would most likely be no. What would you do then? You would have selected Sanders because you didn't have a franchise quarterback. That's how it should have played out. Sanders could have then either sat behind Russell for a year or beat Russell out in training camp and won the starting job. That is how it should have played out, but it didn't. And so now here we sit, right? Jackson Dart should have been a serious consideration for quarterback at some point as well, especially with teams that don't have the quarterback position locked up and are in need for a quarterback. Indianapolis, right? Who did they just get? Did they just sign or trade for a quarterback? Maybe they did, right? But there are some teams here that, you want to hedge your bets, right? One team that didn't select a quarterback in this round is the Saints. The Saints should have been in play for a quarterback, knowing that David Carr is not the true future. So here, going after Mike Green, maybe you just can't pass him up. He's 77 overall. But in round two, Jackson Dart at a 76 overall should have trumped Mike Green at 77 overall because of your need. You don't have a franchise quarterback with the Saints. Your need should have said, okay, let's reach and take Jackson Dart, especially after what happened with Bo Nix last season. And since you're bringing in Kellen Moore, who you think is a offensive guru, he should have been able to get Jackson Dart on point and ready to go. And he should have gone to the Saints in the first round instead of, or at least earlier in the round, where it was the Saints, or should have gone there instead of Travion Henderson. So the logic needs some sorting out, some fixing. So again, so we got Carter at 82, Graham 78 overall. So some of these I've had to go in, Pierce, I had to go in and increase his because again, Pierce is a dynamic player. He just is a complete total, how do you say, he'll be off of most people's boards for the draft because you can't trust him, right? Just that's just it. He just not going to be. He's not reliable. Not a reliable. You're gambling with this one. Travis Hunter, right? Shouldn't have fallen all the way to um, 8 to the Panthers. And then you got Mike Green, Scourton. You can see Michael Williams. You know, we let him go. Look, Kelvin Banks, Tyler Warren, best tight end in the draft. Then there's Grant, and then Shamar Stewart, Ted McMillan, right? And then, to be honest with you, this really could be what we see, right? Except at 12, I don't think the Cowboys would have passed up on him, right? Would have moved away from him. If he was still there at 12, I think they would have pulled the trigger, or should have pulled the trigger, actually, like saying, there's no way that guy is still here at this number, right? And we went away from him just because we saw so many other names still there that we knew at 23 or 22, somebody was still going to be there that we truly wanted. And then we see here at 22, Ibuka at 77, Will Campbell, Walter Nolan, Gray Zabel, Hairston, 96 overall speed, Darius Alexander, Ursery, Jalen Walker, and then Malachi Starks and Imanwari to, and then Landon Jackson, right? And again, we got that window thing there, right? And then that would be the first round. And then we can see in the second round, and again, we went with Caleb Johnson, 77 overall. We're not displeased with that. And then we also managed to get, who did we manage to get? Morrison. Oh, god dang it. We managed to get Morrison with the pick that we got for moving down. So we got Abuku and Morrison for our number 12 pick. I'm not mad at that. I'm not sad or saddened by it. And then we can see right after Isaiah Thomas went, yeah, based on just on the numbers there, he's got better awareness, but our guy has better everything else. So it wasn't bad. Was not a bad pick for us or a bad choice. Deion Walker, had we decided to go with him, 93 strength, can't mess with that. But you can see he's 3 lower than what Morrison was. So it's okay that we decided to go ahead and move up. So Again, when you look at it, I'm not mad at it. I will be leaving him at right tackle. I will also be leaving him at left tackle. And Charles Grant might get the chance to fight in there too because nope, he's just going to be a backup and we're going to see he might get moved into left guard, tell you the truth. Looking at his numbers, 87 strength, I might be moving him over to left guard, right? Because and then let's just back out here real quick and we'll do this one last thing as we cruise into the new season. So another thing I do, the start today mod and most of these mods, they extend your roster out to 84. I do not suggest taking advantage of that and going all the way out to 84. You can go to 74 and then all your players will make it into the preseason games. If you go all the way out to 84, not all of your players will make it into the game, and it is kind of a crapshoot who doesn't. I remember I had Stefan Diggs who was on the waiver wire at one time, so I brought him in, and he did not make it in the game, and so I had to cut my roster down to just 74 players, and that was how I was able to get everyone into the game. So even though it says 70 84 there that you can have on your squad, that just means you set one setting there that says, okay, player limit, you just increase it from 70 or to 84. But you didn't increase anything. You didn't go and find the other spots that where it mattered to allow you to have 84 players brought into the game. So it's kind of like, yeah, you need to find the other place where it shows that. So what I do is I come in here, I look at my free agency, right? It's very hard to not like bring Calais Campbell onto the team to see how just what he looks like. Hernandez is still out there, right? He's actually going to be better than anyone else that I have right now. But I go here first and I see that Tommy Hill is a 76 overall. Guess what we're doing? We're signing him. We are signing him. Smell London, 74 overall. We're signing him. Raheem Sanders. We'll think on that one. Okay. Now we got to come down. Oh, Stackhouse and Biggers are both 72, right? I need to sign one of them. This one's faster and stronger. Okay. I'm going to sign him anyway. Now you're saying, didn't you just say don't go up to 84? I know what I said. I know exactly what I said. All right. So Badgers, 93 speed. Jordan Watkins, 89 speed. Future starter is his tag, though. What is Badger's future starter? You're gonna see the method to my madness, and then we'll call it a day. All right. Shamar James and Dion Black. Now the thing is, I do have to go in and, like I said, you can't and adjust or alter their what's the name? But I have to be finished first, and you'll see because there's a method here. There's a method to the madness. Um, okay, Zaw Frazier is nope, we just picked up a guy. So Zaw Frazier was that long guy. It's good speed. He's 69 overall, not bad. Um, hey, John Parker Romo. That's funny. All right, so Anyone else of note? Because what we're about to do is we're going to game the system a little bit too. You'll see. All right. So we got 79 players. So we do have to train, not train, but trim by 5 players. So quarterback, Will Howard is better than Desmond Ritter. So do we need 4? I do not. Sorry, Will Greer. All right, so we got 6 players here. And okay, Caleb Johnson, Jordan Blue, Miles Sanders. Miles Sanders looks like the odd man out, especially since we're only losing 20,000. All right, so I like to have 9 receivers. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's an odd man out here. I know who, what, and who Prince Paris Campbell is. Also know who these two are. Thing is, it doesn't cost me anything to let Mr. Campbell go. And that puts us at 9. 4 tight ends. I know who they are. I do not keep the extra tight end that they give you for long snapper because I just think that's just a waste. Tyler Guyton, why is he at a whoa? Okay. I'm not gonna complain. All right, so we got Tyler Smith. You see, we only have 2 guys. I like to have 3 at each position, and it's a roster thing, not a preference thing. In preseason, I like to have 3 at each position. You can see I did move Hoffman into center from guard, and we have Thomas and Jones right now fighting it out. Bass is backing up Smith over here. And now we have, right, we're going to have that battle between these two. This one has better feet and more awareness, but I think this one is just the probably better athlete overall. And then he has the size advantage over Steele. And to be honest with you, if he comes and proves himself, I'm not against moving Steele into guard, but I do need a legitimate backup at right tackle, which means I don't know if I want to move him, right? So now that means I got this guy, and I got this awesome Richards. And to be honest with you, I think we want awesome Richards. We want to slide him into left guard. We want to take, well, let's go and slide him over to left tackle. All right. So right now, the only spot that we are deficient in is the right guard spot. Okay, so Marshawn Nealand, yep, Parsons, Fowler, and Williams. Then we have, and I like to have no more than 6. And right now, and you can see here where they're 265, 265, right? Because they're, the position and overall. So I will be basically putting them at, I won't change the money. It just be over 3 years, and then I'll add in a signing bonus as well, right? Which gets canceled out anyway because they'll eventually one of these guys or 2 of these guys will move to the practice squad. But for now, Mr. Rogers, thank you for your service. Now we have 3 left linebackers, but then we have a ton and only 2. And you see I signed Isaiah Simmons in free agency and moved him from strong safety to right outside linebacker to the will. Devin White, we also signed during free agency. So now we have these guys. And right now, this one, Mr. Black, I think is going to fit perfectly over at strong side. Mr. James is going to fit perfectly over at will. And then Mr. Mondon is also probably going to fit for us over at strong side. Now, I do like to only have 3 at each spot. So it's either Mr. Mondon to stay here or Stutzman. And honestly, I think I'm leaning this way. And there could be a reshuffling because in the regular season, with a 53-man roster, I only have 2 at each spot. But Mr. Mondon, because of his size, is going to go to strong. Stutzman is going to stay here. And really what it is kind of, it's a battle. It's a free-for-all. Mr. Johnson, thank you for your service. But you are definitely an odd man out right now. And also, Mr. Harris, thank you for your service. You are definitely an odd man out. Because of the additional size, right? Instead of 70, we can have 74. I may not be letting Mr. Sanborn go just yet. But you can see right now, when we move Miss Mondon out here to left outside linebacker and Black, they both jumped majorly in their overalls to the point where they actually surpassed Leofile. So we got that, and then we got these 3. And you can see even James surpassed Simmons now. And then we didn't sign Simmons at a huge amount of money that we can't let go of him or trade him. And then we got we got 8 corners, right? And this most likely are going to be our 5. But then we also have Hill. So we have 6 strong corner possibilities, right? Look at that. We can save 5 million by trading Bland. And I can almost guarantee we'll get a first round pick. I can almost guarantee that first round pick for Bland. And I just don't feel like we're in a position to pay him and Micah at the same time. So we have to make that choice. And you're going to choose Micah. So now we also have, oh, look at that. Look at Sanders, man. So we did sign Julian Blackman, right? And I think we signed him for like 2 years. We got Bell, Sanders, right? We do need just somebody I like to have 3 in each spot. I like to have 8 corners. Like I said, I like to have 3 in each spot. And then, so we do have 1 extra linebacker that we kind of don't need, but we're going to see. We're going to see how that plays out. And then we got 6 tackles, 3 in each spot on the end. So we have 2 holes as far as I can see right now. 4 tight ends, 1, 2, 3, 9 receivers, 1 fullback, and 5 running backs in preseason and in 3 quarterbacks. So when we come out here, we have 73 players. I need 2 more players. So now that puts a little stress on us, but wait, there's more. We signed someone knowing that we were signing an extra player. Who was it? I don't remember who we signed knowingly that we were signing just an extra player that was good and we were going to game the system with him. And now I don't remember because I think things didn't turn out the way we wanted it to. Oh, yeah. Who was it? Why is he not showing up for us? Yeah, no. Maybe we didn't. Maybe I lied and said I was signing a player and we were going to take advantage of it, right? Because we could see how good they were. And now, all right. So looking at that, who do we need more? A guard or a safety? I'm looking at my own roster. All right, so we got to go back to free agents. Who do we need more, a guard or a safety? Keenan Allen's out there. Do we? Do we? He's right here. He would be the best guard that we could put in in the right guard slot. Yeah, I'm not feeling safety. We could get Jedrick Willis and put him in the guard. But I think for right now, we go and get some power. And there we have it. There we have it. Let's just get our everybody in here where they belong. Yep. Vaughn, nope. Sorry, bro. That's how it's going to look for you. So our starting receivers, Lamb, Ibuka, and Tolbert. This is preseason, so and then Turpin, Mingo, and Lambert Smith. Yep. Uh, Ferguson and Schoonmaker. Then we got Guyton, Hinton. Well, let's go. Smith and Bass. Beebe and then Hoffman. Hernandez and Jones. And again, we're gonna have Steele and Travis fight it out. We got Parsons not starting at left end. All right. And then for right end, we're going to do something that you people might think is a little weird, but you'll see in a minute. All right, so Osa is not starting in base. Where's John? We're going to let Jackson. And as a matter of fact, we're going to do it like that with Stackhouse and Biggers, right? These guys are undersized for me at the defensive tackle position in base. And then the way this is going to work is where's Leofow? I'm going to let Leofow start. And then Murray, White, and Stutzman. And then Overshone, Simmons, and actually Overshone, then James. Mm-hmm. Let's go back to left end. Right end, I'm sorry. So this is how it's going to look. Right? Osa is going to be my right end in base. He's stronger. He's got okay speed, right? He's more stout right there. Just starting out for preseason, but in the regular season, it'll be Micah sitting there for sure. So backers are all set up. And then it's this way around. More than likely, more like this. And then since we don't have an extra guy, Booth will be sitting in as that free safety or that third free safety there. And then we got Sanders, Bell, and then Blackman. mm. For kick returns, we're going to let Vaughn fight for that job. Yeah. And then long snapper. Let's see, this I don't like the way they do the long snapper in this game. Let's see. So starting out, it'll be Vaughn. Okay. Starting in the slot is Lamb. And then Turpin. And we'll do it that way. All right, so Williams will back him up. Okay, on the left side, Fowler with Nealon and Turner. Osa will be in the nickel with Smith and Stackhouse. All right, our nickel backers. All right, that's how it starts. And then in the slot will be Carson to start, and then yeah, just like that. Nobody's on the practice squad yet. And there we have it. This is our lineup. So Prescott, Williams, Prescott's only star. So they dropped him from superstar to star. Williams is a star. Lamb is still a X factor. Tolbert is actually moved up to star. Smith and Beebe are both star. Guyton, Hernandez, Steele, fighting out with young Jalen Travis. Ferguson is a star. And then you see Nealon, a star player, right? With Osa, star, with Mozzie and Jackson, just two big guys just clogging up the middle, hopefully. Then we got Blackman over here. We got Diggs dropping from a X Factor all the way down to just a star player. Bland, kind of overlooked for a superstar and is just a star player. And the reason I say superstar just because of his big playability, but obviously Madden treats him one way where IRL he's completely different. But then you have Aubrey is a superstar player. And then our specialists, Osa, Fowler, both on the line, with Parsons backed up by Williams, also at rush left in. And then Overshown and Murray right now are our nickel backers with Carson in the slot. And then you see Lamb is the slot receiver, and Vaughn is our third down, even though Blue might actually win that spot because he's just higher rated, and he's just way faster too. He's bigger and faster. And right now you got Javonte Williams as our power back. So that is the team. And then what they have is a tool that we're going to run, that I'm going to run after I sign out here, that will, well, they have it's called a player progression tool. And so we'll run that. We have to be logged out of the season. We don't have to close out of Madden completely, but you do have to log out of the season. Close that out. So we have to save and close. And what that will do is you run it at the beginning of the year during preseason. That will basically do all your progression for, the off season and going into the new year. There is a tool, there's a weekly progression or experience tool that you can run as well, because experience is turned off. So you don't have the regular or progressions. Basically, progressions just put down to 100 and halved for regression. And then the tool actually does all of that, right? So you run it against the season. So what you have is you have the progression tool that you will run during preseason, and then there's the stats matter tool that you run during staff week at the end of the season, and then there's also a weekly tool that you can run that kind of adds in a little something something as the season is going along. Um, but that is how you're progressing your players. I don't necessarily agree with it that way, but the trade-off for doing it this way and getting all the other things, in my opinion, is worth it. So, yeah, I play RPGs and it's all, I play games that are all about gaining XP and advancing. And so anything that takes XP away and doesn't allow me to advance, week to week, game to game, whatever the situation is, I'm against it. 100%. 100% against it. You can't convince me otherwise. So, but again, there's so many pros for this. It's an acceptable write off. And then I've never used the weekly tool, so I've used the progression tool, and I've never used the stats matter tool. So those are two tools that I'm very interested to see how they change things up. And then also because of the other things, our gameplay sliders should be all default. right? The only thing that I will go in here and actually change is I'm gonna leave it at 25. I want to see what it does, right? And then um right now I am gonna boost the fatigue. And the reason being, and then I'm not sure because right now, since the mods broke, I don't know if I'm going to see the same substitution as I saw before. I did not like the amount of substitutions that I saw before. It was just too much. And at critical moments, there were, key players were already off the field, and that was in the very first game of the season. So and then we have a progressive fatigue turned off anyway. So that was the mod, the gameplay mod that was just substituting players willy-nilly on its own. So I have to figure out, what the settings are for, for auto subs, and then also if there's something I can do to increase the amount of fatigue the players are allowed to have, right? So to slow down the substitutions, that was just way too many substitutions in my opinion, and that was a huge negative, right? And I think it was the CPU versus CPU mod that was doing that. I can't say for sure, but it's so this is a work in progress. We still have to keep testing things out. We got to see what the mods are doing, right? This one, the start today mod, wasn't I wasn't playing with that one. I was playing with the regular start today roster, but I wasn't playing with the mod. The mod is now loaded, and then so we got to see what that does. We see how that looks, and so it's a work in progress. And again, like I said, there's so many things that are brought about in these mods and gameplay mods and things like that that you know they make the game very interesting. Now, the one thing is, I once the CPU versus CPU mod is updated, I'll have to bring that back in because I think that one truly fixes a lot of the stuff that you face, right? And I haven't, like I said, I haven't looked at this one, the Start Today mod in the CPU versus CPU mode, right? And that's how we do it here. So um, the fixes or the changes that it does to gameplay may not affect or work for the CPU versus CPU. So we'll find out. Okay. So again, remember to leave a like, comment if you thinking that maybe from now on I need to get Madden on PC so we can see what these mods are like. Remember, this is a huge modding community out there that does all this stuff. These guys work tirelessly. Um, in the descriptions are links to the Discord where you can find all this information, all the key vital stuff for the mods. You can find the mods, you can find discussion around the mods, you can find out what they do, you can interact with the guys that are making these mods and things like that. You can dig into their heads and see what they think and how they like modding for Madden and things like that. So you very nice group of people out there doing some awesome stuff. And for years now, I've been going in there and grabbing mods, and it has made that's what's make their mods make PC Madden relevant and fun to play. And even though Madden does everything in its power to make it hard to mod Madden, or basically, yeah, they do everything. They're not as supportive about the modding community as I would like to see them be, right? And then one of the things is the very first glaring thing is if you notice over in the bottom right hand corner, it says profile unavailable. When you mod Madden and you bring up Madden, you cannot log EA, into the EA servers when on a modded version of the PC. It's like I'm not trying to mod it so I can go and play head to head, but you know what I mean? Don't let me play head to head. But really? So profile unavailable, progressions turned off because you're offline and all that, right? And I'm like, you're not very supportive to the modding community if you're going to do stuff like that. So that's a big knock and a big L that I give to Madden for that. I'm sure there are ways to prevent people from taking a modded game online to play head to head against other people, but to just totally cut us off from all the other Madden features while we're playing a modded version, then that's telling me you're not for modding of your game, and you don't really understand the mindset of gamers and how gamers like to play. And these mods are actually making your gameplay better and more realistic, and they're basically doing the job that you just simply can't do or just won't do. So embrace them, figure out what they're doing so that you can maybe incorporate some of this. Take a little note from Bethesda, not the monetized notes, the monetization notes, but take the notes from Bethesda when they're saying, "Oh, hey, let's take some of these guys, bring them in, and let them help fix our game and give some things that are much better, right? Instead of doing everything we can to just kind of make them feel like bastard stepchildren or something." All right. So, other than that, sorry, let me get off my what do you call it? My soapbox. So yeah, so next time, you'll probably next thing you'll see is the first preseason game, right? It's no commentary. We'll just play it out, see how it looks, and then because I'll probably end up recording both the first and second preseason game. Usually, I always just skip the third, and then we'll be heading right into the season, cutting down the roster, heading into the season and figuring it out. And hopefully by that point, when the season starts, we'll have all the mods we want and everything set up and all the settings the right way. So, once again, leave a like, leave a comment. Any questions you have, I will try to answer or at least try to direct you to where you can find the answers, right? And definitely subscribe. It's free and it really helps me out and it helps direct more people to this channel. So the more interaction and the more communication, because I will try to get back to you and communicate with you and answer any questions you have. So definitely hit me up, right? And again, this is my, I know it's baseball season, but I am a diehard Madden and football fan, and if my Cowboys won't fix themselves, I will fix them for them. You know what I'm saying? So that's what this series is going to be. I will fix you whether you want it or not. And um, yeah, that's going to be my title. Cowboys. I will fix you whether you want me to or not. All right, later. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.